Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that could be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And today I'm going to be doing that with an XV puzzle by PhoenixAki called Hidden Patterns. But before I get onto that, I do want to call out, a couple of days ago, I released a puzzle pack. It was posted for free to my Patreon, and it's also over on the community tab, and it's called Sudoku Takeout. It's a small pack of 18 puzzles, which is using the outside constraint, and it was compiled by Maggie, my mother, and myself. We made the puzzles together. Some of them were more of a creating the two of us equally. Some of them were mostly me, made so that Maggie could try and solve them because she loves solving outside puzzles. So hopefully you'll check that one out. I might throw a link below to the page that was put together by Blobs, which has all the solve counts, but the titles of the puzzles there will take you to the puzzle in Sudoku Pad. And there's also a link with a YouTube icon, which will take you to a solve video. The videos are not going to get posted as main features or anything. So if you don't go to them through the pack, you won't find them there. But if you go to the post on Patreon, which is available through the collections page, which is always linked below, or through the community page, you can also find the PDF of it there, and that will also have all of the links and everything, including the video solves and everything. But hopefully you will try those out. We recommend trying the puzzles at the rate of one a day. They're all designed to be solved in like 10 to 20 minutes. So hopefully you'll enjoy those. Let's have a look at Hidden Patterns by PhoenixAki. He apparently, apparently he said this one would be good, so I'm looking forward to giving it a try. So what do we have? We have normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have cells connected by an X must sum to 10. Cells connected by a V must sum to 5. All possible X's and V's are given. So it would not be valid if those two digits was to sum to 5 or 10. Same with those, does not work. Those two digits couldn't sum to 5 or 10. It would break the puzzle, because any time that two digits in a domino sum to 5 or 10, an X or a V is definitely given. Adjacent digits on the orange Dutch whisper line must differ by at least 4. So these two digits will have a difference of at least 4, as will those. And digits connected by a white dot must be consecutive. And it's perfectly fine for other digits to be consecutive. All we know is this one is positive information, unlike these where we've been told that all of them are given. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, I'm going to start by coloring these V's, because I know anything on a V can only be a digit that is lower than 5, because I can't have two digits summing to 5 from the digits 1 to 9 if they are lower, if they are 5 or higher, because a 5 would need a 0 and anything higher than 5 would need something lower than 0. But I can continue this coloring potentially, because these are either 1, 4 or 2, 3. So each of these V's is coming from a set of two different numbers. And if this was 1, 4, I couldn't also put 1, 4 here. Then I'd have 3 cells in the column from 1, 4. And if this was 2, 3, I couldn't make these the same 2, 3, because then I'd have 3 cells in the column from 2, 3. So these can't, because this is representing a single pair of digits, 1, 4 or 2, 3, this can't be from the same pair of digits. So this is purple and this is blue. Now this can't be blue, because then I'd have 5 digits from that pair. This is purple. Can I continue this? Yes, this can't be purple, because I'd have 3 purples, and you can only have 2, because again, it's either 1, 4 or 2, 3, and I can't have multiple of those. So this is purple. So this now must be blue because of column 9. So this is purple. Now, I've got all of the low digits in this row. This now has to be blue. This has to be blue, because I couldn't make it purple or I'd have 3. This one has to be purple. Now that's all the V's colored, but I must have a purple on this. So I'm going to call this is going to be a high blue. This is going to be a high purple. This is going to be a high purple. This is going to be a high purple. Now, what do I mean by high blue, high purple? Now, in order I can never put a 5 on an X because the digit on the other side would also need to be a 5. So that doesn't work because they're either next to each other in a column or a row. But if this was 1 or 4, the digit on the other side of it would either need to be 6 or 9. If this was 2 or 3, the digit on the other side of it would need to be 7 or 8. But because we know that these are either from the same set, we know these are the partners of those low digits because the other side of an X is always going to be the high partner to the low digit. So 1 will always go with 9, 4 will always go with 6. So if this is from a 1, 4, these will always be 6, 9. If these are 2, 3, these will always be 7, 8. So this is these are the high partners of the purple, and this is going to be a high partner of a blue. This is a high purple. I'm probably not explaining that well. This is going to be a blue and a high blue. So I'm going to be able to sort of say blue with a high in it. This is, I'm not sure about these yet. I don't know which one this is. This is definitely a high purple. This is definitely a high blue. Yeah, this is a purple with a high purple. This is definitely a high purple. Can I figure this out? This is low. So this has to, so this is either 5 or high. This is a high blue. This is a high purple. This is a high digit. It's going to be this line, isn't it? This has to be high and this has to be low. So this is from 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is from 6, 7, 8, 9. This is actually a purple because this is a purple. This is the high side of that purple, and therefore this has to be the low side of that purple. Therefore, these are all the low digits in the row. But this has to be a high digit. Now, if this was 4, I think this is going to have to go 1, 5, 9. If this is 4, the only digits that could be 4 or more away from it, because I couldn't go down because 1 is only 3 away, would be 8 and 9. And if this is 8 and 9, there is no digit from 6, 7, 8, 9, which this has to be because this is a low digit, so this is the other side of it. If this was a 4, the 8, 9, there is no digit from 6, 7, 8, 9 that's 4 away. So this can't be a 4. If this is a 3, this would be a 7, 8, 9, and there is no digit that's 3 away there. Because from 7, 8, 9, if this is 3, that's the only possibilities. 6, the maximum difference here is 3 between 6 and 9. This can't be a 3. So that's narrowing it down. But I don't think 2 works either. 2 allows for 6, 7, 8, 9, but the maximum difference between any of those digits is 3. So this can't even be a 2. This is a 1, which means purple is 1, 4, which is great because I know these are 1, 4. So this can only be 6 or 9. But if this is 1, this has to be from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And therefore, if this was a 6, there's nothing I could do here because 6, there is nothing that is 4 different from the 6 here. The 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, the maximum difference is the 6 to the 9, which is only 3 different. So this has to be the 9. Now the 9 is only 1 away from the 0 away from the 9. The 8 is only 1 away. The 7 is only 2 away. The 6 is only 3 away. This becomes the 5. This is 2, 3. That was the way this works now. This 9 makes this the 1, and this becomes the 4 to make the 5 work. The 4 makes this the 6, which means that we know that this is the 1, 4, and if this is the 4, this would have to be the 6. So this is the 1, this is the 9, this is the 4, this is the 6. That's a beautiful way of starting this. We know that the blue V's are 2, 3. So this is a 7, 8 to make the X work. The blue V's are 2, 3, so this is 7, 8. Now this needs a low digit on it because every X needs a low digit. So this has to be 4, 6 because 1, 2, 3 are gone. If I don't use a 4 on it, then the next two lowest digits are 5, 6, and that sums to 10, and the whole thing is just broken. This is 2 or 3, so this has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's not 1. Yeah, I haven't locked that one in yet. These are 1, 4, so this is 6, 9. I'm going to remove that coloring because I think I'll be able to do it without it. This is 1, 4. The 4 looks across, making that the 1, that the 4, 4, which makes that the 6. I was getting ahead of myself there, wasn't I? These are 2, 3. These are 1, 4. The 4 here is looking across, making this the 1 and this the 4. So this is the 9. These are 2, 3, so this is 7, 8. That's a 2, 3 pair in the column, so that's the 4, making that the 6. That looks like making that the 6 and that the 4. I think I want to get rid of all of these high colorings. The 2, 3 here makes this 7, 8. Maybe not. Where is 6 in this row? They're not in those. Not here, because this 6 says not here. So this is the 6 and this is a 7, 8. So this has to be 7, 8 now. This is a 1. So I know what this pair is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are 7, 8, 9, and we have roping. Don't need the roping. I can just fill it in. But these are 4, 5, 6. But there is roping at the top. The 4 and the 6 make that the 5, and I can take 5 out of those. The 6 looks up, making that the 4 and that the 6. I think I am going to get rid of these. Actually, I think I'm going to get rid of all of the coloring at this point. This needs to have a low digit on it. This is either 2, 3, 2 or 3 with 7, 8, because I can't use 1, 4. Maybe I have jumped the gun with removing the coloring, but we will find out together. Two, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. This has to be the 1. Where can I put the 1 in this box? It has to go there. So there is roping, but I'm not sure how to use that. 9 must be up here. This is a triple. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8 go into those. This row, there must be a 9 in one of those two, because there's no 9 there, there's no 9 there. That's not a 9. 9 is in one of those two. That 9 is looking down saying not there. That's a 9. Actually, it is this X. It's got to be 2, 3, 7, 8. But I'm not sure how to resolve it. Maybe keeping the coloring would have been useful. There's a 5 in one of those two. This is 5, 7, or 8. And this is 5, 7, or 8. Which gives, and there's a 7, 8 pair. That's the 5. So this is a 7, 8 pair in the row. That's the 5, and there's no 5 in either of those. Now, what's missing from this row is that's a 5, and these are 7, 8, 9. And once again, we've got roping, but I don't need to use it, so I don't really feel the need to explain it, except for the fact that what it means, what roping means is these are 1, 2, 3, these are 1, 2, 3, these are 1, 2, 3, and these are 4, 5, 6, these are 4, 5, 6, these are 4, 5, 6, these are 7, 8, 9, these are 7, 8, 9, these are 7, 8, 9. I don't have my piece of rope here, but the reason it's called roping is it's like a 3-strand piece of rope. If you untwist it, you've got 3 individual strings making up a piece of rope. I had a piece of rope here for a while that I could use to explain why it's called roping, but I don't have it here at the moment. Okay. Is any of that doing work? The 6 is looking up, making that the 5 and that the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is from 7, 8, 9. 6 is in one of the, oh, this is just a 6. 4 6s looking into the box. That's a 6, so that's a 4, so that's a 1. I haven't even used the negative constraint much yet. If I use the negative constraint, I can see that that's not a 9, because if that was a 9, that would be a 10 without it. So there's no 9 there, that's the 9. I could probably use the negative constraint somewhere, but that means that that's not the 9. So the 7 and the 8 are locked into those cells. But there's a 7, 8 here and there's a 7, 8 here. So that's the 9. This is not the 9. Now I've got a 7-8 pair in here. I know there is absolutely a 9 down here, and I cannot put it next to the 1. That's not the 9, that's the 9. This now, 1, 2, 3, that's a 2 or a 3. And this is a 2, 3, 7, 8. And those pair up, but this is now the 5. I may end up needing to colour these 2, 3, 7, 8s to find a negative. Oh, no, 4 makes that 3. 2 is not consecutive with 4. That's 3, that's 2, that's 8, that's 7. The 3 looks up making that the 2 and that the 3. 2 goes with 8 and 7. So the 3 and 7 look down, taking 3, 7 off here. This is 2, 8. This is the 5. If this is a 2, this couldn't be a 2. If this is an 8, this couldn't be a 2. This is always a 3, which means there's no 3, 7 on here. This is 2, 8, making that the 7. The 3 looks up making that the 2 and that the 8, which makes that the 3, which makes that the 7 by Sudoku. The 2, 8 looks up making that 3, that 2, which by X makes that the 8 and that the 7. I like that. That was very cool. Okay. So these are 2, 3, and 8. There must be a 3 in one of those. Let's look at this triple, I think, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, and 9. But there's a 5 and a 9 in this column. That's the 7, taking 7 out of those. And there's a 5 here. So that's the 9 and that's the 5. These are 1 and 3. The 3 is looking down, making that the 1 and that the 3. Okay, so what are these? 2, 3, and 8. Right. No, I was about to make an incredibly wrong deduction. And I don't want to make incredibly wrong deductions. They are incredibly wrong. In this column, I haven't placed a 7 or an 8, so that's a 7 or an 8. This is 2, 3, 7, 8 for the column. I know what that is. That is because I've got 1, there's 2, 3, 7, 8 in there. Oh, there's a 7, 8 pair. So that's not an 8. That's a 2 or a 3. But now I've got a 2, 3 and a 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 9. So this is 2, 7, or 8. And this must contain a 7. So there's a negative constraint thing I have missed. That 2 means that can't be an 8. That's a 7. That's an 8. The 7 looks down saying that's not a 7. That's a 7. The 7 means that can't be a 3. So that's a 2, 8 pair. That's a 3. Looking up, making that the 2 and that the 3. The 2 means that can't be an 8 because there's no X. That's the 7. That's the 8. The 3 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 3. Now, something to break this deadly pattern open. Somewhere. Right? If that was a 3, that couldn't be I was thinking X's, but I needed to think V's. If this was a 2, that would need a V, and it doesn't have one. That's an 8, that's a 2. The 8 looks across, making that the 2, and that the 8, which looks across, making that the 2, and that the 8. Great work. See if you can spot the patterns in the grid now. Well, I found the roping. There is roping on all 3 of these bands. So the horizontal boxes are called bands. This is band 1. Box 1, 2, and 3 is band 1. Box 4, 5, 6 is called band 2. And box 7, 8, 9 is called band 3. We also have vertical roping. So these I've got vertical roping in stack 1. Boxes 1, 4, and 7 is stack 1. And there is roping in the second stack and the third stack as well. I wonder if they're the patterns that are being talked about. The fact that there's roping in all 3 bands and all 3 stacks. That's really fun. I enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun. Not a brutally hard puzzle, I did want to prove that this was 159 using fundamental techniques. As soon as this was high and this was low, I could see that this had to be 159, but because it was a short line, I didn't want to go into a lot of detailed whisper logic. I just wanted to prove it because this isn't a heavy Dutch whisper puzzle, but there are a lot of different ways of looking at Dutch whisper lines, but going into it too much detail can get a little overwhelming when it's not needed. That was really fun. I enjoyed that one, PhoenixAki. Thank you so much for the submission. That was great. Yeah, great puzzle. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Please check out Sudoku Takeout. They're designed to be just like Sudoku fast food. And as I said, if you solve one a day, they should take you like 10 to 15 minutes, 15 to 20 if you're not that experienced with outside, and hopefully just be a bit of fun. That's why we're doing them. Maggie and I both love the outside constraint. We think that they can showcase logic that you don't see in other puzzles. Not hard logic, but fun. Thanks everyone for watching. And as always, good luck with your solving. I didn't spot this until after I stopped the camera, but I am going to butt in and say it. The patterns are also, you may notice that the horizontal roping or the roping in the bands is done across entropies. So, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are all entropic roping bands, but vertically, all the roping is done using the modular set, the mod 3 sets, 147, 258, 369, 147, 258, 369. So not is there both horizontal and vertical roping, but the horizontal roping in all of them is done using the entropic sets, and the vertical banding in all of the stacks is done using the modular 3 sets. Very, very cool. Thanks, PhoenixAki. Yeah, I'm going to sign off again because earlier BremSter didn't notice that because I was too busy focusing on doing the video production stuff. Thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.